difficulties. Welcome everybody to Stretch and Chill with me, Annie. Just need to adjust this so it doesn't fall over. Okay, Stretch and Chill, Annie, me, hello. Welcome. Hi, everybody. Lay down, take a big stretch. And let it go. Set an intention for your practice today. I intend to breathe deeply. I intend to be content. I intend to find joy in the day and in the stretching and in the poses. Just to let you know, philosophically speaking, yoga is anything that quiets your mind chatter. So whether you're doing a chaturanga, which we're not doing today, or you're doing a back bend, or you're cooking, or you're seated folding over, or you're swimming or driving or whatever, don't drive and think about nothing. That's not a good idea. Okay, so the point of yoga is to quiet the mind chatter. So whatever your activity is, including laying down or meditating or whatever, it counts as yoga. So the shape of your body doesn't matter as long as you're being present-minded and you're really focusing on yourself and what you're doing right now. You're doing yoga. So if you don't want to do the poses that I suggest and you would rather do something else, I will never know, nor will I care. But if you're thinking about your to-do list for later, that does not qualify as yoga and you're missing the point. Okay, bend your knees, put your feet on the floor. You can keep your socks on today and your sweater and your blanket. Move your arms out like a T and just start to windshield wiper your knees back and forth, getting a little movement and some stretching going on. You can hold it on one side and twist, or you can just keep going back and forth. Keeping your lips sealed as you move through your different poses today. As we hold some of these poses and your mind starts to wander because your mind is like a little puppy and it just like goes off track, come back to your breath. Come back to your anchor. Feel the stretch. Actually notice where it's happening in your body. Paying attention to the right and the left side if they're different. Come back to the middle. Draw your knees in towards your chest. Cross your ankles. Put your hands onto your shins or knees. Squeeze your knees in, keeping your head on the floor, rocking a little side to side. Pay close attention to your low back, your sacrum, your SI joints. The SI joints are where the pelvis and the spine meet. And that is a sensitive area for a lot of people. A lot of nerves go right through there. And sometimes we're out of alignment too, meaning like either yoga could help or chiropractor, or I don't know. Whatever gets that back into the right place. Moving your knees in circles. Breathing. Let go of your knees and put your feet on the floor. Placing your hands onto your low ribs with your elbows on the floor. So your fingers are going to go towards your belly and your palms are going to be on your low ribs. As you breathe, I want you to expand your rib cage and let your belly rise. It doesn't have to be huge, just notice the difference from taking bigger breaths as opposed to your normal shallow breathing. Now, it's hard to do two things at once, but I know you can. Lift your right leg straight up towards the ceiling. Extend your knee, so it means straighten it. And then moving your ankle around in big, intentional circles. Your toes going around in big circles. And now that you've got your foot going around in a circle, notice if you stopped with the long inhales and exhales and go back to that. Taking that right ankle over your left quad. Keeping your left foot on the floor for just a moment. Take some full inhales and exhales as you move your right knee away from your face. You can either push on it with your hand or just use your glutes, your rear end, to move that right knee away. Just until you feel a stretch. If you want to bring your left foot off the floor, go for it. If you like to thread the needle, holding on to your hamstring with your hands, the left hamstring, go ahead. If you can't even reach that far, which I barely can, my fingers do not touch, maybe just use your stomach muscles. I'm not sure it's worth it to lift the head off the floor for this one. Placing the left foot down, lifting your right leg up. Just take it down to the mat, your right leg, and just let it fall open naturally. Bringing your left knee in towards your chest. Interlace your fingers around your shin. Squeeze your left knee out towards your left armpit. Breathing into your inner thigh and wherever else you feel this. Crossing your left knee over to that right side, we'll take a twist. Reaching your left arm out to the left. Take a big stretch with that left arm, separating your fingers, extending your elbow. Extension means to straighten for the elbows and knees, and flexing means to bend. So extending your elbow, turning your nose up or to the left. Notice how your sacrum and low back feel in this position. Hopefully good. Hopefully it doesn't hurt. Rolling onto your back, place your feet on the floor, just a few windshield wipers. And stopping, knees towards the ceiling. Place your hands onto your low ribs. Notice your breath as you inhale and exhale. Closing your eyes if that's comfortable. You know, sometimes closing your eyes, my eyes, causes anxiety because I'm not sure what's going on, but I'm not trying to cause your anxiety. Okay, by closing your eyes. Keep them open if that happens. Lifting your left leg up towards the ceiling. Moving your ankle around in circles, intentional big circles. but still taking deep breaths as you do that. Extending your knee for a little hamstring stretch. Relax your shoulders down. Separate your teeth if you're clenching your jaw. Taking your ankle and crossing it over your right quad. Moving that left knee away from your face. Bringing the right knee in if you're ready, or just keep your foot on the floor. Still breathing, full inhales and exhales. Placing your right foot on the floor, lift that left leg back up, straighten your knee, and take it down to the ground. Let that foot just fall open. Drawing your right knee in and interlace your fingers around your shin. Pull that right knee to that right armpit and just squeeze it in. Taking a twist. Right knee over to the left. Reach your right arm out to the side. You may find you get a little chest stretch here when you do this, or bicep, shoulder. Separate your fingers. Turning your palm up or down, or both. Turn it down and then turn it up and then turn it down. Nose up or over to the right. Breathing for 3. 2. And 1. Roll to your back. Placing your feet back on the floor. A couple windshield wipers. Just to bring that twist back to neutral, your muscles in your back and obliques. Drawing your knees in, rock and roll forward and back, or just sit up. Get into your most comfortable seat, most comfortable. Favorite of all time, maybe sit up in a chair or on the couch. That's my favorite, the couch. Okay, make sure your blanket's near you or sit on it. Closing your eyes. Take some full inhales and exhales as you sit up tall. Take your shoulders down. Taking your ear over to the right shoulder. Chin to chest, and over to the left. Whenever I bring my chin to my chest, I think, oh, I wish I could get a massage right now. Every time. And then I remember, oh, I had one yesterday. Oh, that was Tuesday. Today's Thursday. Back around again. And then one more time, and we'll come back to neutral. Sweeping your arms up, inhale. Take a big stretch. Take your right hand down to the floor, out to the side, and lean into it. Reach your left arm over, looking down at the floor to start. So if your chest is straight open to the side, just turn that left shoulder down so you're looking at the floor. And then reach your left arm a little further, kind of back ribs stretch. Move your left wrist around in some circles. And then launching off of that right arm, sweep up, and we'll just switch sides. Launching, that might have been a strong word, but you knew what I meant. Push yourself up and over. Okay, so take that right shoulder down a little, closing your chest towards the floor, and then move your right wrist around in circles as you reach that arm across. This is more like back ribs, obliques. And then you're going to launch yourself back up and over to the other side, lifting and over. This time, if you can, instead of closing your chest to the floor, you're going to open it a little and look up. Now, my left shoulder doesn't do that, so I take, instead of reaching over, my arm is more like up. And I'm just looking up, and my neck doesn't love this either. But you know what? You might like this a lot, so I'm not going to not do it. And then pressing up, and we'll switch sides. So opening the right shoulder a little bit and seeing how this side feels. Just working through it. Maybe reaching over, reaching up, or looking down. Maybe this is terrible. Maybe it's great. Pressing up to center. Reach up again, just both arms, take a big inhale. Sweeping your hands down, around, and down, right, under, left, into eagle arms, grabbing shoulders or hands. Inhaling, lift your elbows a little, maybe a slight back bend, tiny bit. And then exhaling, rounding, tuck your chin, pull your elbows down. And back up, lifting the elbows a little, letting go, sweep your arms in a big circle, reach up, and then down and around and under, left, under, right. Shoulders or elbows, hands, up and down. And up again, sitting up, lift your elbows a little, let go. Again, sweep your arms in a big circle, inhale, reaching up, press your palms together, and then slide your hands down to heart center. Okay, we're gonna come into tabletop. Grab your blanket. Place it under your knees. Even if you don't need to, it feels so nice. Okay, not done with the props though. So here we are in tabletop with the block under the knees. I want you to grab your 2 blocks, if you have them handy. Place them medium-ish height, low, medium, tall is too tall. So about medium to low, and then place them at a T to your mat. Coming down to your elbows, forearms, on the blocks, and then you're off your hands. Ta-da! And the best part is that the spine is still parallel to the floor, for most of us, on the medium height. We're gonna do cat-cow this way. So rounding, tuck your chin, press your back up, and then arching, lift your face, stretching your throat, your neck flexors by sticking your jaw forward, like kissy face. I can't help it. I have to say that. I have to say it. Okay, rounding and press up. And arching. Okay, going into child's pose with your arms on the blocks is not Awesome for the shoulders. So pressing back, just move your arms down, right? And come back into child's pose. Maybe the blocks help you in child's pose. Keep them. If you like rabbit, go into rabbit. I love rabbit. Rabbit, you interlace your fingers over your rear. Move your head forward a little, tuck your chin, and then lift your arms up towards the ceiling. I think I probably shouldn't do this, but I like it. If you're in rabbit, roll back down. Coming back up into tabletop. If you don't want to use the blocks under your elbows, just remove them and put your hands on the floor. Here we are. Adjust that right knee so it's a little bit more under you, and then extend your left leg back and up, lift your face, and then pull your knee in and round. If you want to add that left arm, go for it. Reaching the right leg out, that would be your left arm out, right leg out, and then pulling it in. These are slow. We've only got 3. Rounding a lot when you round, and then squeezing that glute a little as you lift, and put your knee down, and we'll switch sides. So adjust that right knee so it's in the right spot. This is just a stretch. I'm not wanting you to super glute workout. Arching a little and rounding with that left leg, pulling it in and lifting, just moving your head as you do this. 2, we've only got 1 more. And then placing your knee down and move the blocks over. Coming into a seated position, you can sit on your blanket. Taking the soles of the feet to touch and let your knees open into Badakanasana. Holding on to your ankles or feet, sit up tall, take an inhale, and then folding if you fold. Maybe walk out in front, hands out in front. If you like to tuck the chin, Jalandhara Bandha, tuck your chin. Sitting up, slide your legs out straight in front of you, grab those blocks. If I had a bolster, I would use a bolster for this, but I don't, so life goes on. Take the blocks, put them behind you. And then further back, you know how it goes for modified fish. Just move those blocks back a little bit so they're not real close to your butt. When you lay back, the block should be under your rib cage and head. Rib cage and head. So if that block is lower than your rib cage towards your butt, it's too low. Take a big stretch with your arms up overhead, and if you want to remove the block under your head, do it. Extend your legs out. You can just let them fall open. Maybe open your arms like a T. Breathing deeply, let your front ribs lift as you take deep inhales. Interlacing your fingers around the back of your head, draw your chin into your chest using your arms. I really enjoy this. I think it's fun. Okay, so don't use your stomach muscles, just use your arms. I don't know why, I just have always liked that. Then put an elbow down and go ahead and press yourself back up to seated. We'll leave the blocks, just leave them right there. Extending your legs into a V. Take a deep inhale, sitting up, And then fold as far as you want. Walk yourself forward, using your hands to either stop you or pull you down, either way, right? You could go from side to side if you would like a little extra hamstring stretch on one side, or just stay in the middle. But no bouncing, no bouncing. Bouncing never helped anybody. I don't get that. Breathing. Coming back to center if you're to the side. Press yourself up and bring your legs back together. The blocks are still there, so we can just lay back again. So using your arms if needed to lay back. It should be the same place under your rib cage and head, or maybe no block under your head. If you want to change your arms, out like a T, down by your sides, a picture frame around your head, meaning grab opposite elbows and reach up overhead. Interlacing your hands around the back of your head, using your arms to pull your chin into your chest. Oh, so fun. Put your elbow down and press yourself up into seated. Taking your right knee out to the side with your left leg straight. So right knee bent. You can keep your ankle on the floor or place it over your quad. Yogi's choice. Sitting up tall, inhale, fold towards your left leg. Drawing your waist, your Uddiyana Bandha. Breathing. 3, 2, and 1. Sitting up. Okay, go with me here. So my right leg is out to the side. Right knee bent. I'm going to take my right leg and swing it around behind me, and I'm going to bend my left knee into pigeon. So I'm going to bend my left knee and sweep my right leg back. And then come down into a regular pigeon. So just move your stuff out of the way a little bit. You can stay on the blanket, because my rear end would still be on the blanket. Again, noticing where you feel the stretch, maybe many places. If you feel anything in your joints, I feel like that's not good and you should adjust the pose so you don't feel it in your joints, but I can't tell you what to do to help through Zoom. Press yourself up. Okay, sweep that right leg back around. Out straight. That left knee is going to be bent, so open to the side, or take your ankle on top of your right quad. Sitting up tall, inhale, and then folding toward your right leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, and and 5. Sitting up, you're going to take that left leg back around behind you, and you're going to bend your right knee. So however that happens. You can sit up or fold. This is called Ekapada Raja Kapotasana variation. So fun to say. Ekapada means one leg or one foot. And Raja is king. Kapotasana is pigeon pose. So one leg king pigeon pose. And this is a variation of the pose. Ekapada Raja Kapotasana. Pressing up. Sweep that left leg back around again. Find your blocks. Put them next to you. The blanket, I'm going to keep my blanket under my sacrum, but I am going to make it a little bit thinner. So you don't have to do this. You can remove your blanket all the way. I am just going to unfold it once and lay it down. And then if you do this, make sure you don't have any like bumps in it, because that's not going to feel very comfortable. And then as I lay down, I'm going to keep my butt on it and down. And then that way my head doesn't hang off a cliff because I'm really close to the floor, but I still have a blanket under my sacrum. Sometimes my sacrum gets a little irritated laying on a harder surface. So the blocks are right next to you. Take a block, lift your rear end up, and slide the block under your sacrum, medium, low, medium, high, into supported bridge. If you want to slide your right leg out and relax it and straighten it, you can, reaching your right arm up overhead. Or if you just want to keep both feet on the floor, if your knees bent, do that. Breathing. If you have your right leg extended, switch. Bend that right knee, put your foot on the floor, and slide your left leg out. Bending your left knee, putting your foot on the floor. If it's not, bring your left arm down by your side. Lift your sacrum up away from the block and lower down. Remove the block, come down. Draw your knees in toward your chest. Squeeze them in, rock a little side to side. Placing your feet on the floor. Lift your hips up and just move them to the left like 2 inches. So lift up, move over, put down. Dropping both knees to the right. Adjust your twist as needed. I know we've already done this. This one isn't as deep as the first one. Still full inhales and exhales for 3, 2, and 1. Switching sides, take your knees up to the ceiling. You're going to lift your rear end up, just slide it over to the right, a little past neutral, and both knees will go to the left. And then breathing. So the counting is to help you breathe and also to let you know that it's not forever. So when I count, that's an exhale. So notice that they're really spaced out. For 3, 2, 1. Take a full inhale. And rolling onto your back. Okay, I had big plans for the strap today. I'm just gonna abandon all those plans. I don't even care. Taking a block. Where is it? Where is that block? There it is. Your legs can do whatever. It does not matter what your legs are doing. Lifting your head, take the block and put it medium height, so not low, medium, under your head. Make sure that it's flat. Your block should be flat on the ground, not on its edge. Slide it under your head until your chin is tucked into your chest, and it should be right at your occipital lobe, which is like the base of the skull, let's just call it that. As you are putting the block there, it may feel a little tender. You're just going to roll your head back and forth, left to right, and adjust the block so it feels like it's hitting those neck extensors. Those are the muscles in your neck that if you're laying on your stomach, it helps you to lift your head off the floor and look up. Those are your neck extensors. Or look up at the ceiling, those muscles. So we're just rolling back and forth on those muscles. It's been like 2 years since Faith has worked here. Time flies, doesn't it? I know. And she always said that this helped with proprioception, your body in space, like knowing where it's at. So you know where your arm is at and your shoulder's at and your width, so you don't run into things. I don't know if it's true, but I like it. If you want to stay here, stay here. If you want to put your head back on the ground, go for it. We're going to get ready for Shavasana. If you are at home and you need to go, I understand. If you'd like to stay, please, laying down. Keep the block or remove the block. If you want to cover up with a blanket or put your socks on or put a sweater on, go for it. Now's the time to cover yourself. I'm going to read to you from Meditations from the Mat. Daily Reflections on the Path of Yoga by Rolf Gates. Okay. This section on asana, which is the majority of the book, has so many amazing things in it. So many that I just don't even know which one to read. It's so good. Okay. I've starred so many things. All right, here we go. Day 138 from Meditations from the Mat. Day 138. The Yoga Sutra says, asana is perfect firmness of body, steadiness of intelligence, and benevolence of spirit. I have chosen to use a couple of different translations of the two sutras devoted to asana in order to better capture the essence of the sutra's wisdom concerning yoga postures. In this translation, we get a better sense of the aims of asana as a practice. Asana are described as improving the body, mind, and spirit. This is news to no one who has had the fortitude to read this far, but it is nice to see that things haven't changed all that much in the last 2,500 years. That's when the Yoga Sutras were written, supposedly. Perfect firmness of body, steadiness of intelligence, and benevolence of spirit. That sounds great, but how do I get it? My favorite author, Stephen King, says, writing equals ass in chair. I would go on to say that asana equals feet on mat. We encounter our first obstacle to asana practice off the mat in the form of our endless array of reasons for not practicing today. I generally practice first thing in the morning for just that reason. As the day goes on, I am at an increased risk of talking myself out of it. I know all the excuses and then some, and so I tell my students, plan your week around your practice sessions. Develop yoga buddies and make yoga dates. Do a little yoga a lot, instead of doing a lot a little. Apply the yamas and the niyamas on the mat. Buy some cool yoga clothes. Get the props you need. Buy a good mat. Make it fun. Go to weekend workshops if you can. Take a yoga vacation. You don't need to make yoga practice your life, but do make it a part of your life. Give the opportunity you have been given the respect that it is due. And on that note, take a deep inhale and exhale. Find your anchor one more time. Start to move your fingers and toes and wrists and ankles. Take a stretch. Stretch your jaw and your tongue. Reach your arms up overhead. Draw your knees in. Rock a little. Side to side. Roll to your right. When you roll to your right, pause here and put your right arm under your head like a pillow. Draw your knees in a little closer and just stop. Give yourself a mental pat on the back for taking time for yourself today to chill out and stretch and breathe and be present and disconnect from technology. Pressing up, come to a comfortable seat. Close your eyes. Bringing your palms together in Anjali Mudra, thumbs to sternum, lower your chin a bit. Thank you so much for letting me guide you. Thank you for being present. Lokaha samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings be happy and free of suffering. Namaste. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. I will see you very soon.